Okay.
And we're live.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're the Script Coroners, and today we're going to be covering Jill Barup's Only Connect: The Last Jedi Throne Room Fight Analysis. This is Review and Response 23, and today we have a special guest, the fighting expert. As his name
Hello,
suggests,
everyone.
he is a fighting expert. He knows a lot about choreography and fighting tactics. I think. Anyway.
And yeah, well, to give you my credentials, so I am a black belt in Chaendo and Chaentogu. Chaendo being Korean martial arts, hand-to-hand combat, and Chaentogu, which is Korean martial arts with a staff or any other type of weapon. I have studied Eastern and Western European sword fighting. I have also studied Eastern and Western uh, Asian fighting, so ranging from Mongolia to China uh, to Japan as well. I have also studied Middle Eastern sword fighting. And then also I have studied some fencing as well.
It's nice to hear. Anyway, should we get on with the
Mm-hmm.
video? Oh, let's wait for Replica.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get some water.
Anything else you have to say, guys?
Uh, I think that this woman is smart. She's just wrong.
Yeah.
She's not a dumbass or a malicious asshole like most of the people we've covered.
Mm-hmm. And also to add, as a person experienced, and I say experienced because there are people clearly far more experienced than me out there in the world. I'm not denying that. I'm saying it clearly. Um, I am not attacking her for what she knows. She specializes in one thing, and from knowing about her channel, it is stage fighting. I am coming on to explain how stage fighting is good for stage fights, but when it comes to the real world, when you have a lot more factors going on, a lot of fights you see in the sequel trilogy of Star Wars are terrible.
Yeah, and I mean, actually, like even as a stage fighter, she's actually pointed out like certain things about sword fights that are objectively true. She did a video on Pirates of the Caribbean, the first one, and she pointed out like all of these little details that made the fight so good, and it was like, wow, so you are smart, and you have the capacity to be incredibly objective. You're just not
Yeah.
doing it right here.
For example, when Jack Sparrow meets Will Turner for the first time and they are discussing how they fight, Jack points out, "Oh, you're good with the blade, but let's see how your footwork is." And that's to
Yeah,
show the audience, like, yes, their fighting isn't just about what you have in your hand, it deals with your entire body. You have to have proper form, you have to have proper footwork, and what that means is how you take a step. Because if you step wrongly during a fight, your opponent can easily knock you over. And on the battlefield, as soon as you're knocked over, you are a dead person.
yeah.
Do you want me to elaborate more on that?
Um, let's
We need. I don't know. Replica wants us to start the video without him.
No, he probably doesn't.
He'll be back soon. Anyways, what else do you specialize other than fighting? Fighting expert.
Well, I am also a blue collar worker, so I run CNC machines for my job. So I am a machinist. So I do a lot of trigonometry for a living. Then I also uh, I study a lot of histories because when you study sword fighting, you also have to study the history on why certain weapons were made and how they were made because when you actually look at the full picture, you actually start to understand the culture of whatever country the sword comes from. So it's a high level of respect for me to be able to sit down and study a sword that came from the past in like Southeast Asia.
And you are born. What do you specialize at other than podcasting and debating?
Well, not really much to do with sword fighting except for the
Oh, hello,
fact that I
Johnny.
know a lot of.
I'm back from eating.
Uh,
Your
I
appetite's
don't
getting louder.
exactly I don't really know the ins and outs of choreography. However, I do know a lot about cinematography and how fights should be staged. Ideally, you should use a lot of wide shots, which is one of the things that the Last Jedi throne room fight scene gets right. Having a lot of close-ups and two shots in your fight scenes is not a very good idea because you don't get a good concept of what's actually
All
happening.
I all I
But
know is no close-ups with you can.
however, the
That's all I know.
problem with the Last Jedi is that like in these wide shots, they are
You get to see a lot of mistakes.
yes, that is the pitfall of it. He's if you like a fight like episode five's works when you don't use a ton of wide shots because most of it is mostly mind games. Like I'm guessing a lot of the fight mostly plays out in their heads,
Yeah,
and so
and
the
also,
more minute details of the fight,
well,
it's mostly like simpler strikes than
yeah,
something
but
complex like Anakin versus Obi-Wan.
to add on that, in episode 5, the art style that you see between Darth Vader and
Well,
Luke,
more
it's
than that, you don't have to juggle as many pieces because they're only fighting each other.
yeah, but there is a specific style done, which is um longsword fighting. So it's longsword saber fighting, which was seen a lot in Eastern Europe. Uh, Best example of that would be the Rob Roy movie starring Liam Neeson. So you have corridors, meaning you can't really take wide pitch swings. So the way that they do the fighting is it's very much you step with one foot and you drag with the other. So that way you can keep a solid stand so you won't get knocked over even though Luke does, but he learns from his mistake.
Correct.
Thank you for that insight.
One of the
And
things that
with Rey's, well, one of the issues I have with Rey is she trained with a staff all her life. Why does she have a single blade lightsaber?
Uh,
Yeah,
I
maybe
have
she
no
could just
clue.
like attach. Maybe she could just
It's
like
not
attach
even
the
the fact
staff to the
that
lightsaber.
she has a single blade lightsaber. It's the fact that she is able to use one more competently than even her staff. Because
Yeah.
if you like the first fight that she gets into in the entire film is with some thugs, and she like barely wins the fight. She takes a few punches, and
Yeah.
it's like wow. Rey is not invincible, but as she goes on, not only is she out of her element, but she is using a weapon that she doesn't really understand. And but she wins engagement after engagement with but a scratch.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense because when I first started, so I started with Chando and Chan Togu. So I learned heavily how to fight with the staff. Then I branched out into sword fighting. There are key mechanics that are still the same, just like with your footing. But when it comes to your upper body, things change drastically. So when people say, oh, well, it's only a matter of where you put your hands on whatever you're holding, it isn't true because how you drive each strike, if you put too much force in it, you're going to knock yourself over.
Right.
Yeah, and I learned that the hard
Well,
way.
I mean, like I don't know. I don't know if Disney wants to hear your insight on choreography. I think details has been completely lost on them.
As
As
with
long as
most
long as as
Hollywood.
long as you swing the lightsaber, you win.
And it's dumb.
Uh, I think our big problem with the scene is just that, like, yeah, the idea of like the long takes and wide shots is really cool, but the way that the scene is set up, I think it requires more cuts. And there are a lot
Yeah.
of moving parts. So instead of having like individual like shots of something going on with a more complex backdrop, you have to have your characters just go through the motions. You can't have them they're just executing their stunts. They're not actually fighting. And you have to
Yeah.
have that because you have these long takes, these wide shots, and this doesn't work. Like if you actually have your stunt, you actually have your something like cut, you can have these little individual like smaller fights, like 1v1s. Then when you cut to another shot, it could be like a 2v1 and such.
Yeah.
But the entire thing has to be one big fight scene with six guards because that's cool and artsy and unique.
And also,
And really,
another problem that's clearly there is what are most of the guards doing during that time?
yes, they're yeah, the guards they have to intentionally be super slow.
Guys, make sure
Yeah,
you have the
or
live
they're
chat open so
just
you can answer questions.
oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, but
the,
like,
the chat
Yeah.
announcements.
I don't know where is he. So he said it was gonna get watery, but
Thomas Lillig. If Disney cared about
maybe he went to
choreography,
the
they
store.
would have kept Nick. Oh yeah, Nick Gillard. I miss him.
same.
yeah.
Also, when you
Let
look
me let
at
me.
like the interviews with like Nick Gillard, like with the Phantom Menace and all that, he talks about like using a lot of the art styles from like the katana, the aidochi, Yagasaki, and then he also brings in a lot of European sword fighting as well. So the man clearly knows what he's doing.
Yes, right, definitely.
Do you wrestle? Fight expert
I
or
do
box?
not, but I have studied a lot of the arts in MMA as well. I'm actually friends with three MMA fighters. One of them is a champion.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Who kicked me off?
All right.
Did Replica just talk?
Are we? Yes. Yes, he did.
Why did you kick me off?
I have no clue.
I heard him talk. What the heck? Are you
Yeah,
there?
and now he's not talking.
I heard him talk
No,
for
I'm
a
not
second.
talking currently.
Like he just said
His mic is
awesome.
muted, Diego.
Yeah, I heard him say. I heard some voice say awesome.
I'm here. Just keep going. I'm adjusting my headset.
Oh, okay, okay. Let's get on with the video now.
All right. Starting in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Heard all the time after The Last Jedi came out about how unrealistic the throne room fight scene was and how bad and how dreadfully choreographed and it just ruined the movie, which was already terrible to begin with, by the way. Here's what I think.
Yeah, they're pretty. They're right. I think throne room fight scene is one of the best scenes in the entire film. Actually, it's still garbage.
All right. So are we? Wait, we're only 14 minutes in. Is that normal?
14 seconds in.
Is that,
Oh, I am elaborating on a point.
you guys weren't waiting for me, were you?
We were.
Ah, shit.
Yeah.
Well, let us. Yeah. Awesome. Sorry, guys.
Yep. Replica, I thought you did it. I thought you wanted us to wait for you because you get mad at us.
Why? Why can I hear myself in you? Okay. Well. Let's get to it then. Yes. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
You want us to start over?
Uh,
We're only 15 seconds in.
Okay. Sorry about this, Mr. Fight Master Sword. We usually do this at 8 p.m. and I'm kind of still sleepy. Let's go.
There's a thing I heard all the Last Jedi came out about how unrealistic the throne room fight scene was and how bad and how dreadfully choreographed and it just ruined the movie, which was already terrible to begin with. By the way.
I mean, like I said, like one of the better scenes in the film. It's just still garbage. Who keeps getting kicked?
Deviant, this is weird.
Let him on.
No, I'm not doing that. He's probably like timing out over. Deviant, hello?
I was just figuring out some problems.
Okay, good. Just stop. Get. I'm very sorry about this. It's not our standard streaming quality. Let's move forward.
That's fine.
It had cool visuals.
Pretty terrible to begin with, by the way. Here's what I think. This scene is Marmite, and that comes down to the choices that they made while designing and filming it. And they probably knew that it was going to be controversial going in, but they made those choices anyway. Sorry,
That would.
Like it shouldn't be a point of controversy. It should be a point of good or bad.
I mean, I would.
Like why should shit choreography be controversial? It should just be universally accepted as bad.
I mean, like not to speak for our good fighting expert here, but I'd assume most Hollywood fights are like a 5 or 6 out of 10 from like swords. Is that accurate? Or like would you say that most Hollywood films are like 6 out of 10 for its choreography?
It depends on if you want to turn your brain off during the fight.
Gladiator.
Gladiator, there's like some massive glaring like that is impossible, but other stuff it's.
I mean, like how, just just give me like a wild like estimate, like on average, like just how, how believable is like your average like Hollywood sword fight film
when it's one-on-one,
two against one, I don't know, whatever you want.
Yeah, it's really hard to say well, if
like
you have
I know
people
that
who,
I know that like 1,000 variables are going through your head.
yeah,
like I'm not looking for something that's necessarily accurate. I'm just because like she says that like they knew that they knew it was going to be controversial going in. Like I'm trying to make an argument here that like most of the fights in Hollywood films are problems, they generally don't break reality to make the fight. They don't
yeah, I would
entire.
probably say a 6.
Yeah, yeah. So, well, yeah, okay, yes. Move on.
Uninitiated is a kind of yeast-based spread that you put on bread, and their entire marketing shtick is based around the fact that people have very strong opinions about it. I think this scene is rather similar in that respect. My name is Jill Bearup, and full disclosure, I absolutely.
Yeah, but that's
I
like
mean, Shifrillis thinks it's okay, so.
Can someone send me this? Can someone send me the watch together, right?
Oh,
Yeah, I can do that.
You're not even in the war. Okay. Don't put it in the normal Discord. Adam might freaking. I don't know. Maybe it was Adam. Maybe it was just Steven screwing around. I don't know.
Yeah, I can send you the watch together.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
It's
I mean,
insane.
most things I've seen from like reasonable people is that it's just really poorly handled. Like the other side doesn't really make arguments. Like I wouldn't even argue it's like a bit in between the two extremes kind of thing. It's more of a do you care about logic? Then yes, yeah, then you'll
And
probably hate it.
also just like going from like Shadiversity, because the way Shadiversity and Scalagram, just like the whole YouTube sword fighting era, we kind of, just the group, we all kind of have like the same way of judging a lot of sword fights in movies. We have like, okay, that actually works, to looks cool, to okay, that's just bad, then oh dear lord, no, that's horrible.
Yeah. I mean, like generally what I focus on is like, does it remotely look like it could be what actually happens? Like like Airborne. Like I say a lot about modern like gun battle movies. Like I guess you could call them action movies, but that falls in swords and other stuff too. But you know, usually like he showed me this video, and they talked about something called boogie action camera style or whatever. Like I have no idea. It did kind of. I felt like it was kind of correct. Like I mean, when I watch movies like I don't know Kingsman Secret Service or John Wick or whatever, everything's really fast. And I suppose that when they were making it, they probably thought that they were doing something that made sense. But it when you see it happen that this is probably not. It probably doesn't work. It would probably never be like this.
The funny thing is, like the first John Wick movie, that is actually pretty accurate.
I'll just go with what you're saying now, but I will.
Well, the reason why I say that is because like I've actually talked to my brother who serves in the military. Probably not a surprise due to my background. Couple other people. I've talked to some cops who are my friends, and they're saying that the way that he reloads, he leaves one in the chamber as he's reloading a mag. The way that he shoots, just the techniques used are advanced techniques you see in the military.
Yeah.
Who are we referring to here?
I'm aware of that. What I was saying is that like the techniques are probably like somewhat accurate. It's how it all comes together that I I have massive problems with. But it's not just that; it's also these other movies. I kind of tend to overgeneralize them to an extreme degree, but I mean, like in like a more serious format, like I can't do that exactly. But I kind of look the same in a lot of sword fights in film, but usually when like even if it's just slice guy who dies stuff, there's still ways to make that look good. Like I mean it's a very thin line between that and this kind of thing. Like it's very. I suppose it just is a testament that while I have massive problems with like how most modern movie directors direct these kinds of scenes, like Ryan Johnson is just a special type of terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take boogie action style movies over.
I mean, to be fair, like this is. I mean, to be fair, like we have no clue if Ryan Johnson was responsible for this mess, but I can suspect it because the choreographer who made the Mission Impossible bathroom fight scene, which is actually pretty good, made this. So I like it's incredibly hard for me to believe that he botched a fight scene this hard.
It was a mixture of Ryan Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy.
I think Kathleen had to do with this.
Yeah.
Maybe she like wanted to. Maybe she like was like, oh, this doesn't look cool enough. Add more red in there.
A fighting scene like this.
I fucking hate people who say, oh, SNI has a lot of red, so it is good cinematography.
It's not.
I'm not gonna pretend that it's not competently shot. There are some really good shots in The Last Jedi, but most of it is pretty bland. It has the color red, and like Crate has like red salt, so it's good cinematography. It's the most gorgeous Star Wars movie I have ever seen.
When you're on Crate and the ground gets like stepped on, it reveals red underneath, as if the planet, as if the planet is bleeding.
So anyway, back to the video.
Sorry, sir. Let's move on.
Praetorian Guard in The Last Jedi. This was a scene I saw in the cinema twice and went, okay, I have to learn how to do that. By which I mean learn to fight for the camera rather than learning to use a lightsaber, though that is still on the bucket list. And so I googled stage combat near me and then spent a week in the back end of Kent learning how to fight people with swords for the stage, as opposed to learning to fight people with swords in order to actually hurt them.
Where's the fun in that?
Yeah, and also
in all seriousness, I think stage combat is actually really cool. I just don't think
it's cool, but
I just think it's a great idea to conflate stage combat with lightsaber choreography in Star Wars, which is supposed to be a fantasy reflection of our own world.
Mm-hmm. Also, when you go back,
supposed to believe that these characters are actually doing these things.
Airborne, please let him talk.
But like when you go back to when she shows herself like learning how to do a disarm with the rapier, it's like, yeah, in the real world your opponent is not going to let you do that.
Yeah,
so pretty much what you have to do is you have to take a step forward, drag with your back foot, bring their guard up, grab their sword, be able to turn around, expose your back to them, and then elbow them in the gut or ribs while trying not to get stabbed.
Well, this is like a training thing, so maybe it's not I know what you mean. You are right. It's but yeah, regardless, it's still better choreography than The Last Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to learning to fight people with swords in order to actually hurt them. Important distinction. Stage combat is all about looking convincing while committing violence, while not actually injuring yourself or your fellow actors.
Yeah, I would assume that's the case.
Yeah, can we get like the CinemaSins counter for combat sins?
I guess.
You have to do do
What
this
the
Because-
fight every
13
day,
minutes
like,
or less.
4 days for the entirety.
What the? What were you do? Are you? You know what? I'll just pretend the deviant took his real sword and started hitting shit with it. I feel like
Let me go get my golf clubs.
oh, you gonna murder Joel again?
Joel
It's
Miller.
not canon.
Definitely not canon.
I've waited for a long time for this.
Oh my god!
Right, let's continue.
Could you imagine at the end of The Last of Us 2? There's just like a golf club floating in the water towards Ellie. It's just like-
Alright, come on, let's continue.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
Of the show's run 50 times in a day for the movie you're shooting. Think of stage combat like a cooperative martial art, or possibly bizarrely violent dancing. I got
Kind of like capoeira.
I mean, when she says cooperative martial art, that kind of seems like the people are like acting in tandem in order to put on a show.
No,
Like,
no,
we're
no.
not supposed
That sounds
I
like
mean-
military combat.
I guess, but like, I mean, we're not supposed to believe that the thing is choreographed.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Unlike stage combat, which is like inherently like prefaced with the idea that like, oh yeah, this is choreographed, but it's cool.
Oh yeah, you're kind of right about that. You wonder why she'd bring it up. Like this is way you could say this way faster. Like like you got to mask the whatever. Let's just let her talk.
basic or standard level qualifications that week. I also got hooked. So 2.5 years, 3 basic, 3 intermediate, and 7 advanced qualifications.
Fucking
Right.
shit. Why does this happen? Why is this happen?
Oh my god.
The only reason this is happening is because the fighting expert is here. Like something wants me to just feel the most nervous I've ever been in my life.
I got 3 basic or standard level qualifications that week. I also got hooked. So 2.5 years, 3 basic, 3 intermediate, and 7 advanced qualifications later, here we are. Explain
What the hell was that? Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
She like did like a kick off a rope.
basic, 3 intermediate, and 7 advanced qualifications.
What?
Yeah, it's stupid. Let's just
I don't know.
ignore it.
I don't know what's happening here.
Later.
And this is the moves you learn when you do your own Indiana Jones movie.
Here we are, explaining why I love the throne room fight scene so much, and explaining why it contains
great. Oh,
mistakes
boy.
and anticipation and a VFX'd out knife,
Boy.
Here we go.
and yet, well, I'm not going to say I don't care and neither should you, but I am going to tell you why 13 stage combat exams later doesn't actually bother me that much. Here's the first thing
Okay, at least she's not like Stephen Crosex. Why do you care about these things? Only the most sad, depressed, cynical people would care about things like these.
Airborne command. She was very obviously saying the more intelligent version of that. She says it doesn't bother me, which might as well be. Why do you care?
Yeah.
I mean, at least she's not looking at it from like an objective point of view. Like,
I guess
this is like this is actually secretly good, and you were just nitpicking, you terrible person.
Now, I want you
Yeah.
to bear in mind while watching this scene, Disney's Frozen, with a budget of $150 million, is an entirely animated.
I'm not.
I don't see what this has to do with anything. You have one
but, like-
slip up with animation dealing with a frame by frame issue compared to objectively horribly bad choreographed fight scene.
She essentially
Are you a little bit
Airborne,
ahead
stop.
of us?
She essentially argues, Mr. Sword Expert. She essentially argues that because they made mistakes with their animation, which they could have gone back and fixed easily, therefore the throne room fight gets to be terrible as well.
Are you guys a little bit ahead of me? I'm at
No,
212.
we're at 212. It's fine.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
Here's the first thing I want you to bear in mind while watching this scene. Disney's Frozen, with a budget of $150 million, is an entirely animated film, meaning every single frame is under the precise control of the animators. And there is still a shot at a really pivotal moment in the super climactic emotional song where they just straight up passed Elsa's hair through her shoulder like she's Shadowcat because they couldn't make the shot work any other way. And
They could have easily made it work any other way. It would.
yeah, that's what.
It's. I suppose this is like her source of cognitive dissonance, but I feel like this should really speak for itself. Like it's an animation. You could literally if they still have the files, they could literally go back and just fix it real quick. Even today, like it's yeah. But essentially, this is like I suppose it's like whataboutism. Like what about
Yeah.
this thing that wasn't done well? So this is terrible too.
Oh well, no. I think she's like what she's saying is that like since like with animation you can just go back into the computer and fix it right away and they still make mistakes. But in live action you have to redo an entire thing. And so making mistakes is going to be a lot harder to fix and it's going to be more timely and costly.
Yes. All right.
But like shouldn't the idea be like these like acknowledge that these are mistakes?
So you don't have to reshoot again and cost more money?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that indeed. That indeed.
I mean, I do not blame anybody for not getting something right the first time. Like especially like lightsaber choreography. Usually, it's like it's some pretty intense stuff. But
Yeah.
with like, I mean, apparently, like Daisy Ridley learned all of the stunt choreography in an hour and a half, which may lead me to suspect that the choreography was rushed.
It was
not even a surprise. Like you see the retarded Chinese man in the documentary, and he's like, "I was planning to teach you the whole routine in like a few months, but she surprisingly learned it all in a day and a half."
No, she said he said a few days, but she learned it in an hour and a half.
Yeah, like it's
a little bit different, but
whoa,
yeah.
Hold up, a few days. Oh, no wonder that is terrible. Okay.
Yeah, it would have sucked no matter what.
But again, like the guy choreographed the Mission Impossible bathroom fight scene, which is a genuinely great fight scene from a movie, and it's I do not see him like botching a fight scene this bad. To be fair, I don't know of much of his other work besides those two movies. But it's hard for me to believe that like insane drop in quality, especially when you look at how rushed Ryan is with both his writing and directing. I have to believe that he just wanted to get this all done because he cares more about themes than he does about action.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, like generic lightsaber fight. Just get that out of the way as fast as we can so we can go back to Luke being a grump.
Sorry, his movie Looper explains it all.
Oh yeah, there's like the one scene where they basically say, "Don't worry about the time travel, okay? Don't worry about it."
I could just imagine that. I could just imagine that, like as he was like choreographing it, like just Ryan was just walking through the thing and like bumping him all the time, and just fucking things up for no reason. like in that scene, Ryan is just running through there. He's just edited out.
Hey, I gotta go.
Ah shit.
Now.
It's all right, Mr. Fighting Expert. It's not like we need you for this anyway. You know what? This is good. Now you know that we are professional, I guess, and we'll have a video that's like actually worthy of your time.
It's a call I gotta take.
I'm very happy you were able to tell us that animation doesn't have to be bad. That's where you came.
Go and answer a call.
Yeah, that's where you came for. You came to tell us animation is bad. Thank you.
All right, let's continue with this.
No. I have to tell him to. I have to tell him properly. Hold up.
Okay.
Thank Thank you for your time. All right, there we go.
All right.
Well, now I can drop this retarded facade of feeling nervous, and
Why were you nervous around him?
because he was on anomalies and he's like actual man of authority. Now,
Oh, okay.
you see, the hierarchy is that I am the top, you're below me, then deviant. Like he's like,
It's better to be more casual with him. You don't want to make him seem like he's like an outsider.
I hate everything. Let's move on.
People notice?
Okay.
No, they did not. Well, I mean,
Well, I'm sure there was one jackass who did.
But yeah.
And then he points it
they
out.
did, obviously. But did most people notice? No. And
But it's still there. That's the problem. Like,
I mean,
that is the issue. Like, we should not be trying to mask issues. We should be trying to get rid of them.
all right. Yeah, I mean, like there's mistakes.
If there was a weed in your garden, you don't buy some really tall plants to hide it. You rip the weed out. Even if those tall plants are really good looking, you still want that weed gone because someone will notice it. If not somebody, then you, and you should be concerned with your garden and how it looks.
Yeah, one wheat will go and fuck up your whole backyard.
I don't like this idea that we should just problems are problems and they're everywhere, so
Oh, you're always gonna have problems in a movie, so I care about the little details.
and even if you go looking for it, because it's in the middle of that super emotional climactic scene, you might still miss it. I mean, they also turned a ribbon-laced bun into a French plait, but apparently we've just decided that was magic, so... Okay, this
Okay.
is a fight scene which...
I don't even like Frozen that much. Like, Elsa nearly ruins the movie for me.
Overrated.
Yes. I don't think it's bad. Because, I'm not one of the people who's like, oh, Frozen sucks because it's popular.
Overrated to high hell.
which lasts for over 2 minutes, has things really being set on fire.
Over 2 minutes. Wow, that's really impressive for a lightsaber fight in Star Wars.
Star Wars often has like 4 minutes. Like it's
yeah, like the fight in Empire Strikes Back is like a good total of 4 minutes. The fight in Return of the Jedi is like 3, at least, I think.
Mm-hmm.
2 minutes isn't impressive
At all.
No, even like even the idea that like there's a lot of long takes. Like tough shit. I don't care.
And is performed by actual humans. I just want you to bear that in mind. So the background to this fight.
Actual humans. Are you talking about like how like animated fights, like in Clone Wars? You know, they can do whatever they want because they don't have actors. What about like whatever? Or like is she like saying like, oh, CGI Yoda, since he's like not real, they can do whatever they want with him. They don't have to have humans learn choreography. Like, what's your point here, man? I should say, woman.
Fight is that Rey has.
All right, enough bullshit. It's time to take the gloves off and get down in this shit.
Learned how Ben turned to the dark side. She also sees a vision of Ben turning from the dark side, which would be really handy since the First Order are kicking the Resistance's butt at the moment, and she decides that the way
they should already all be dead, but whatever.
To win against the
They are not kicking their butt. They are just destroying them.
First Order is to give herself up to Kylo Ren so she can turn Kylo, kill Snoke, dismantle the First Order, Resistance win, boom. Done. Basically, it's shades of Luke and Vader in Return of the Jedi.
Whoa! Okay, so the First Order should still kill them, like even if Snoke is dead.
Yeah, this is a problem. Whatever. We're not gonna talk about the plot in The Last Jedi.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the retarded choreography.
Build up in their force-powered conversation.
She says like shades of Luke and Vader. No, this is a scene being aped without context. Oh, it worked in Return of the Jedi, so it must work here. I'm getting hung up on
small details that matter. I said matter.
So Rey presents herself to Kylo Ren, who takes her up to Snoke so he can turn her to the dark side / kill her. Rey, who...
Fucking hell. I know we're not supposed to hang up on the plot, but just think about that. What kind of movie does a person present itself, and then he doesn't know if he's actually going to die or not? Like, what kind of fucking gamble is that?
Who has gained some insight into Ben Solo during their weird force time interactions, tries to convince him to turn to the light.
Wow, look at that, like, budding romance there. I can't wait for them to make out in episode 9. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mrs. Bearup. We're being mean The Last Jedi when we should be covering your video.
The worst part about her is that she's not like ugly or something. Like, she's actually decent looking.
That's the worst part about her.
Yeah, like, well, she's probably a nice woman.
Oh man, she's kind of cute, so I hate being mean to her.
She kind of looks like one of my aunts.
Ignite the saber and destroy your true enemy, etc., etc. Which, of course, Ben has now realized is Snoke because, duh. One of the things I like about the speech is that it just...
Impressive. Every word in that sentence was wrong.
I suppose it is true that Ben is conflicted by killing his father, and so Snoke presents Ben to Rey as emo bait in order to capture...
Emo bait.
Imagine you watched episode 8 and thought the throne room was garbage, but was like bad because they had a much better one ready. You know, with Luke and Kylo, and you were just like, oh, so this is the real lightsaber fight. All right, let's go. What do we get?
I remember like this how like this recap of The Last Jedi. They like, instead of having the stupid like anime Matrix showdown, like they like Kylo goes to Luke's planet and like they have like a lightsaber fight.
How'd they film that?
No, it was like a Lego
Oh.
It was like a Lego stop motion thing. And it was infinitely superior to the terrible lightsaber fights in the sequel trilogy.
Everything is infinitely superior to the terrible fights in the Lego. I mean, the Last Jedi. Sequels in general.
Not the plot or the characters.
Oh, everything is terrible about that. Everything is terrible.
Kill her, but he doesn't bank on Ben making a genuine emotional connection. Whoops. And I think that emotional connection is the reason that people like this fight.
Yeah, but it's based on...
Snoke is kind of a retard.
Yeah, but it's based on like nothing, though. Like, it's
based on if Rey never goes to Kylo's ship and they never like connect, Snoke doesn't die.
Yes.
The Resistance is wiped out. I mean, I would think, or like. I wouldn't think that Snoke would get killed by the light speed ram, and so like, he uses up like, what just happened? And it's like, oh, we just got hit by a light speed cannon. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, but like it's a Star Wars movie, so who cares? You're right. Now let's get down to the kill them all.
Airborne, how much more would you like to film if Admiral Akbar did the whole maneuver and he would go like, it's a trap, and like fly into them and kill them?
The movie would be a 10 out of 10.
Yep. It's sort of like that scene in Rogue One, like the one Vader scene. I mean, that's like the good thing.
No,
that's like that's like the thing that makes it all worth it, I guess.
And if Admiral Akbar, like, say like his ship got boarded by the First Order, and then they surround him, and he's holding a detonator, and the ship's like wired with explosives, and he's like, "Do you know what this is? What? It's a trap." Ryan Johnson. I would actually respect Ryan Johnson if he did that, even if the rest of the film was still the same.
When we see Snoke die, because we've seen the lightsaber turn, but
but somehow Snoke doesn't. This film is so bad. Okay.
And we are kind of nervous as to whether or not it's going to work. And that's the first choice of the fight scene, so to speak. We are allowed to see Snoke's death coming so we can share Ben's tension. He is a terrible, terrible human being, but he still has human feelings, and we are sharing in them right now. And for this fight scene to work as...
okay.
So let me get this straight. There's only 2 of us, yet you still have the background noise of the... This stream is fucking cursed. I'm getting sick of this. I've had 3 people trying to call me during this thing.
Jesus.
You Airborne, sort your fucking shit out.
I did. I got it. I got it fixed.
As well as filmmakers really need to dredge up a lot of empathy for Ben in us before we start. It also makes it that...
Yes, because the rest of the film failed to do that, so they need to make up for it right here.
Ah, great. An irredeemable villain needs to... We need to be convinced an irredeemable villain has emotions and shit.
This is why you don't like... This is why you have Kylo regret him killing Han Solo.
They really...
Instead of being like, yes, I am. I'm a monster, and you're gonna like it.
They really shouldn't have had... They really should not have had him kill Han Solo. Like, that was such a... That was such a, okay, you're dead move.
Well, such a fuck you to...
Oh my god! Kylo Ren is kind of like Abby. He kills the character we love, and then he never pays like, he gets to be a fucking light side Force ghost.
You stupid old man. You don't get to rush this.
Well, why did she say you don't get to rush this, actually?
I have no... because, she wants... I mean, she kills Joel slowly by hitting him as hard as she can with a golf club. That doesn't seem like a great idea.
I hate that fucking death so much.
No, but it's old storytelling.
Of all the fucking ways to die, getting hit over and over again with a golf club is probably one of the dumbest and most patheticest. How did you die? Oh, I got riddled with 50 bullets, and then I killed the guy who shot me, and then I fell over and died. Who are you? I got hit by golf club.
No, but it's bold storytelling.
I know I know you're doing an act, Airborne, but fuck me, I still every time you say that I just wanna clothesline you into the ground and just be like, fuck off!
Joel wasn't a beloved character. Winnie the Pooh is a beloved character. Joel kills people because he likes it in the first game.
Oh my god. Yeah,
not...
we need to do it. We need to do a Last of Us stream at some point.
Every death that happens in Last of Us 2 is Joel's fault.
I hate this. Move on.
That much more of a kick in the teeth when he almost immediately goes back to being a murderous, pouty space numpty. While we're mostly looking...
Oh yeah, that was so sad and totally earned by the movie.
No. Airborne, don't even say anything. She says it herself. A stupid, mindless space numpty. What a fantastic way to make her villain. Even the people who like your fucking movie just look at him as some aggressive child. Ryan and Kathleen and JJ, you guys suck. Imagine if you were like, oh, and then in episode 5, Darth Vader gets all angry and stuff at the end, and he's like, bring my shuttle. So angsty, that Darth Vader.
And that was me defending the movie.
I feel so bad for. I feel so bad for the actor who played Kylo Ren. I will never be able to take him serious again.
I love Adam Driver. I am so sad how they wasted him in the sequel trilogy.
Like I've never seen Adam Driver before in anything like besides that, so now he's permanently ruined.
Yep.
Great.
Her desperation, like Ben, we know what's going on.
Airborne.
Yeah.
E C H O.
My headset's plugged in. Let me
Does. Snoke dies, loses his force hold on Rey, who then drops to the floor like, what just happened? The lightsaber slides right out and all the way towards us, and Luke's saber, Anakin's saber, like I said in my Force Awakens video, the most recognizable piece of kit in the entire Star Wars universe, just kind of frishes towards us.
Uh-huh. Airborne? Airborne. Fuck. Alright.
Hi.
Alright.
Hi. So in the first shot you see Snoke die, the lightsaber goes from his first wrist to his second wrist, but in this shot it covers nearly his entire the entire like his entire shoulder rest or arm rest, which is kind of weird, but it's a nitpick. So
it's another horrific gap in continuity.
Meanwhile, in the background, we see the guards start to ignite their weapons because you killed Snoke. You're going down. Rey looks at Ben.
Wow, these guards suck.
No, they're not. No, they're not going down. Sorry.
What kind? Do you have any idea just how hard you fail at life as an elite guard if you just let your boss get killed like that? This is the equivalent of just walking into a mobster's house and getting one of his friends to shoot you and shoot him in the face. Like this, like it's so ridiculous. They just go like, "Oh, you killed him. I guess we will go kill him now." Like it's just.
And there is this moment of perfect understanding, which reminds me very much of Luke and Mara in Timothy Zahns' Vision of the Future. Vision of the Future is the second book in the Hand of Thrawn duology. Those are part of the expanded universe. No.
Oh,
Legends.
So you like Luke... actual good things, and then you do. Okay, everyone gonna be 100% honest with you. I think this woman just likes anything.
Really?
I don't think she's an SJW. I think she's just one of those normies.
I mean, it's clear that she knows a lot about something.
Well, look, she doesn't come off as though she like hates me or you. She just comes off like, oh, that's a cool fight in a cool movie. I want to learn how to do that too. Like it just doesn't seem malicious to me. Like I don't like you know that famous like there's some evil behind this shit. The only reason why the main reason why I keep saying that is because the people we cover are often just they're total complete dickheads. Like I don't get that at all from her. I feel like if I told her like that moment in Frozen is a mistake and it's kind of unacceptable because they could have fixed it really quickly, then well, maybe actually let's reserve judgment on that until we've seen the entire thing. Move on.
Right.
Luke and Mara end up fighting Sentinels, and this kind of weird force bondy thing that they've had growing over the past book and 2/3 coalesces into this really intimate. No.
Fuck. Airborne. Do you want me to solo this stream?
Sorry. I don't know what's happening. Like
your headset keeps failing me. So many. Look, just mute yourself and then unmute yourself when I.
Do you want me to do push to talk?
Yeah, do push to talk.
All right. Sorry.
I don't know what's happening. Your mic is just fucking up for some reason. Man, I'm happy the sword master left. This is pathetic. Like I have a lot of respect for that guy, so I wanted to treat him correctly and get it right. But yeah, not that we haven't exactly, but he left before we could even begin. So yeah, Airborne, Airborne, Airborne. Well, looks like I'm gonna be soloing this shit. Well, awesome. Oh, thank God, Airborne. No, Airborne. Oh shit. Airborne. Airborne. Hello.
Hello.
Oh,
Hi there.
hi. How you doing there, buddy?
My mic is being stupid. Sorry.
Okay. I feel like the lack of professionalism here is extreme. Well, it's not like I'm getting paid for this, so I guess that's fine.
Yeah.
Airborne, do you
Besides,
get paid?
I'm glad that we're doing it on a video like this instead of a video, like that's actually a super insane video like Majorly.
Majorly, that's going to be torture. I don't know if I want to cover him. It's just Majorly is kind of like my kryptonite of people. Like it, like he would make me so like we know that to a degree he's an agent provocateur,
Right.
but like the thing is, he would make me so angry that he would be like, "Oh, that I might have made a mistake here," because I'll literally just be like, like just I don't know. To be honest, nowadays,
Right.
I think Major League is just some loser. So maybe it's not.
Yeah.
At least that's how I felt when I saw his TLJ thing. I just wanted to strangle him.
Yeah, he's pretty much a provocateur.
Yeah.
His opinions are pretty weird.
Yeah, I found it more funny than anything else, which I suppose is kind of like a victory for him, because these other people make me want to explode, and he is just annoying.
Oh, can DJ Man join?
Yeah, sure. We don't have enough people here anyway. Just make sure. All right. Get in here, you coward. I like how Deviant says yes, even though he's not even in the stream himself. Like, yeah, that makes sense. Sure. I'm playing maximum action, by the way, to keep myself awake. Where is he? Have him show up already, damn it. Airborne, we are having dead air right now. We need something to fill it up. Airborne? Once again, I am alone. Once again, I am alone.
Can you hear me?
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Hey, dealer. How you doing, bro? He's muted. Fuck. Hold up. These black people are coming.
While he's finishing that, let's move.
Yes, let's move on, comrade.
And so Mara doesn't need to watch her back because she knows that Luke is watching it, and vice versa. That probably wasn't strictly relevant. But I really like those books, and Force bonds are kind of my jam, so moving on.
Okay, cool. Fuck. I hate how she's associating that with this. Like, I haven't even read the books.
Yeah, they're not.
But I know they're probably way better than anything Ryan Johnson has.
They are.
Like, I'd be surprised.
Then it becomes a fight to the death. We've got Praetorian guards. We've got.
There is no such thing as a fight to the death happening here. Like, this is not all-out combat. This is just
too scared to make it a fight to the death.
Like, I mean, there's a few guys. Oh wait, he's showed up. Hello? You're still muted, bro.
No. What?
Why do you have children in the back? Why is everyone retarded in the stream?
I don't know, man.
What the hell is?
I just caught a case of the retards. Okay, don't be mean.
Oh, man. Is this what Corona does to people? It just makes them retarded.
I mean, to be fair, it's my mic. Maybe my mic.
Right, no more Corona references ever.
Whips, we've got knives, we've got fire, we've got a lot.
Hello,
going
person
on.
from the
That's
future. Corona is like a beer that makes people drunk. It's not. It's nothing else.
It's not a disease that kills people.
Fucking idiots! You just whatever.
Choice
It's a beer disease. It's a disease of the beer mind. It's like normal alcohol, but it's whatever. Fucking move on with the stupid damn. Oh, the black guy's here. Hello.
Go ahead and start the video.
Okay.
Airborne, send him the link, or I will cut your face. I'll put on a wall.
I'm already in it.
All right. Let's go, fellas! Woo!
In a one-on-one fight, you only have 2 people to keep track of, but they really want you to feel the synchronicity of these 2 main characters in the midst of all of this chaos.
Consume
product. If you actually slow down and like look, they're not like synchronized at all.
Yeah, that's like,
literally.
the
thing that she showed. They're literally fighting the ground. They're fighting the ground.
They're fighting the ground. I saw that on my first watch or the last shot actually. Like that, like specifically, I was like, "What the fuck are they doing?"
Dude, I saw it the first time. Like the first time, I noticed like a good 75% of all the problems. It's insane.
I guess you have eyes to analyze film.
I definitely do. Like my eyes are way above average. I'm probably one of those people who has extreme high sight. Like it's but
did the camera pan from left to right?
Yes, it did. You just didn't notice it. It happened for a few seconds.
Scene sucks.
Oh, what? Oh, you're right. The scene is garbage. It panned from left to right, which makes it stale for some reason.
Right.
Moviegoer sitting there in the dark with your surround sound and your popcorn and your big screen. You can't possibly keep track of all of the individual things that are happening in any one shot.
How convenient.
Yeah, that's like the reason why these fights suck. You know that moment when Darth Maul goes backwards?
No. I'm gonna show you a scene which is completely unrealistic yet.
Deviant, could you stop being just a problem?
No, I'm not. What the? Why am I a problem? I'm trying to.
No, I mean, whenever you show up, you either interrupt a conversation, have bullshit happen behind the background. Like, can't you just come in one time and it's just natural?
It's not me.
I know it's not you, but I have to blame someone.
Okay, watch that. watch that fight scene. It's epic.
We are covering
19.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I'm not going to look at it, and neither are you. Wait, what the fuck? They're standing on a tree.
Are we gonna start or no?
they're standing on a tree and using the tree to catapult themselves, and it's epic.
Yeah, so it's not the time.
Yeah, I've seen that fight scene. It's pretty cool.
They should all be dead.
The throne room fight scene is something meant to make you think it's cool, but it's really not. It's
Oh,
disguised to make you think it's cool, but when you actually pay attention, it looks dumb. It's like really dumb.
Yes, but this doesn't even pretend to be smart or anything besides dumb. You know.
Well, you know what? Well, you know what? This is still better than the Last Jedi because even though CGI and the scene is retarded, they all fly via the trees. Oh my god, this is so fucking stupid.
It looks cool though.
We're not seeing this in the stream though, so this is terrible.
They fly now.
Oh, what?
Yeah, they fly now.
They fly. Why did you put that scene in? Not every single time we're gonna. Oh my god, Disney just made jetpacks. They ruined jetpacks for everybody because every time we're gonna see
Does
jetpacks
Disney know what a jump trooper is? Does Disney
every
know what a
single
Boba Fett
They
is?
fly now.
every single time we're in a movie, we see a jetpack. It will be they fly now. They have unironically just destroyed fucking.
Every time somebody flies in a Star Wars movie, but they fly now, please.
No, I mean like movies in
Yeah,
general, like legit,
it's
like
going to be contractually required.
like 1960s James Bond. They fly now. Like just like they've ruined. Okay, move on.
Focus, like the framing is generally very central. They just want to keep your eyes.
None of this is the choreography. Talk about the choreography.
Just want to keep your eyes in the midst of the other stuff that's going on around the sides is just kind of atmosphere. The first sequence is 12 seconds.
This is literally basically just telling you turn your brain off and watch it. This is basically what it's saying.
She's not necessarily saying that. She's just saying, "Oh, it looks good." Like it's just, yeah, okay. That's not the fight though. The actual fight is the mechanics of the battle. Fucking shit. TLJ is China was not wrong. It is a low IQ movie.
Yeah, it's a good idea to keep your characters in the center of the frame, so there's a lot of visual clarity. But it's not something that you have.
Good job,
to.
Brian.
TLJ probably has the worst pacing out of all Star Wars movies.
Good job, Brian. You were able to keep the characters in frame. I'm so proud of you.
Wow, that's cool.
Stunning and brave.
You ever heard of a two-shot, Ryan?
You guys know how in Cosmonauts video he says that he loves that when Luke comes in, nobody dies for the rest of the movie, despite only it being a few minutes left till the movie's over.
Yeah, that's so great.
Oh,
that was just something he saw. It's kind of like
stunning and brave.
That's kind of like his like that's kind of like when Cosmonaut was like, I never knew the plot of the movie, until I saw, like, it's sort of like that, except the other way around, where it's just like, oh, I noticed something. Oh, nobody dies till Luke does. Oh, I'll just put that in as an excuse for the terrible garbage.
Smart.
I think somebody should have died when Luke came. And his name, that too. But yeah, Rose Tico. We'll just tell Ben to calm down, and then everything will be well.
I'm calm right now.
Yeah, all will be well.
All will be well. I got so pissed off at that.
Literally nobody would tell you that in reality. Like nobody in reality would tell you that.
Seconds long, and there are probably 30 plus moves in it, given the number of people involved. And we just.
Did you guys just see that? Did you guys just see that guard fighting nothing? He literally went into the air fighting nothing.
What? Where? Let's take a look.
It's like near on Ray's side. Look on Kylo's side.
Probably 30
right there.
plus moves.
Look on Kylo's side. He's literally fighting nothing.
In it, given the number of.
He saw his dad's ghost.
And we just stay with them for.
Why did he stab the ground? Why did he shove his lightsaber into the ground? I do not understand.
Because Adam Driver does not know how to sword fight.
It created a cool visual.
No, it's created a cool retardation.
It was cool because there were like sparks coming from the ground, and that's cool.
There are so many times in the Rise of Skywalker where Kylo has a chance to kill Rey but doesn't do it. Like so many times.
I mean, at least the fight in Rise of Skywalker kind of looks good, I guess.
No,
that
choreography is beyond terrible. When Rey force pushes Finn so he doesn't go get her, Kylo has a chance to stab her, but still doesn't stab her.
Oh yeah, I get what you mean. I was talking more about the fact that now it's these big thrashes, big clashes. Like that's slightly
Kylo
better
Ren
than
doesn't even do a hard attack. It's just putting all your weight into it. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Well, why are they putting so much weight into it? These are supposed to be.
Like I played Jedi Academy a lot. He's not doing any of the swings in Jedi Academy. Neither is Rey.
They're supposed to be doing. It's supposed to be light sabers.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Well, I know
As we
that's
said
not
before.
I know that's not why they're called lightsabers, but they are lights.
Airborne.
They weigh like 2 pounds.
Airborne.
What?
You're forgetting the most important detail.
What?
It doesn't matter that they're light. It matters that they're sabers. Sabers.
I mean, the hilt shouldn't weigh that much. I mean, I don't know how much the kyber crystals should weigh, but the hilt shouldn't weigh that much.
Sabers in real life are delicate weapons that are
Yep.
very small and very light. Like it is directly implied twice in the name that it's a light weapon.
Like,
Oh no! You see, you see sabers.
it's dumb samurai space wizards for children.
You see sabers kind of sounds like savers, and saving somebody is a very heavy task. Therefore, lightsabers are heavy.
Nice logic.
Yep.
Wait, isn't so? If you win, you're fighting what? If you lose, you're fighting what you hate. So they should be lighter when you're losing, right? Because
I mean, really, why would a blade? Why would it be as soon as you turn the lightsaber on, it starts weighing a lot though?
Ben Shapiro, get push to talk, please.
This stream is such a damn mess. I'm gonna. This is so stupid. All right, you guys ready for this shit?
Really establish where they are in time and space and how overwhelmed they are on a numerical basis. It's a complicated piece of choreography, which is why there are at least.
Talk about the choreography, please.
You don't have to do what they do in order to establish that.
Talk about the choreography.
She's not even talking about the choreography. She's just saying.
Which go a little bit wrong. And a second or two makes a lot of difference in choreography, so you do notice, but probably not the first time. Actually, let me rephrase that. You'll notice if you're looking, but still probably not the first time. Like I said, if the movie has grabbed your attention, then the center of the frame is where you're looking.
That kick's embarrassing.
Is she gonna ever talk about the choreography?
Probably not. You just restarted the video back to the beginning. Good job.
Who did? I haven't touched it.
I haven't touched it. Yeah, I believe you. It was probably. So Deviant fell over, and as he fell over, he knocked the pause button.
Somebody keeps hitting pause and unpause.
A little bit wrong. And a second or two makes a lot of difference in choreography, so you do notice. But grabbed your attention, then the center of the frame is where you're looking, and the rest of it is just visual noise to set the scene.
What is she?
Last Jedi came out about all the time.
What the hell is happening?
I don't know.
I'm
trying to figure out.
Which is why there are at least two or three things, but probably not the first time. Actually, let me rephrase that. You'll notice visual noise to set the scene. Likewise.
Okay.
So essentially, she's saying that if your eyes, you should be looking at the center of the frame, and the rest is not necessary.
That's that's just dumb. That is dumb. What does that mean? You're supposed to be looking at the center of the frame. You're supposed to be looking at the choreography as a whole.
Yeah, that's kind of obvious. I mean,
I'm not a specialist on
choreography. Even at the very
the choreography in the throne battle.
What if they just? What if
even
in the center of the frame, there was just white space?
Even if you're just looking at the very center, what they're doing, in the very middle. Let's go by that rule. The choreography is still bad.
There are many times where they have unnecessary swings.
Yes, you're acting like the mistakes are just in the background. They're not. They permeate throughout the entire fight in every inch of the frame.
She's also pretending that these mistakes are standard. That's what a movie often has. Well,
I wouldn't say that. She's she did distinguish the difference is there are a lot of moving parts in this scene, and so there's going to be a lot of stuff that isn't in the center of the frame, whereas usually it's just a 1v1.
Yep.
So she has established that this scene is very different from most modern fight scenes, most Hollywood fight scenes. But she doesn't explain why that means the choreography even in the background shots is like not a problem.
I don't
The
think she's
scene
ever
she
going to talk
shows,
about it.
the scene that she shows, there are many times where they have unnecessary swings where they have the chance to kill each other, but they just don't do it. They start hitting the air when they have the chance to kill their opponent.
I can see why. I can see why Smut Boy skipped this video because I don't think she's ever actually going to talk about the choreography.
Oh, we got 10 minutes left. Let's see what she says.
Let's just try and not pause.
If you want a good analysis on this, the fight, Shadowversity's video is better.
Yeah, let's not pause it until she actually talks about the choreography.
Why is this guy twirling to nowhere, for example? Or why does he aim above her head? Well, obviously it's because Daisy Ridley is supposed to duck, and she does like half a second later.
Yeah, that's horrible. That's genuinely awful. Like the fact that is real is just insane.
You know,
yeah, my watch together got stuck in a constant loop that I couldn't escape from.
Precisely correct. But the vast majority of a movie-going audience are not professionals, and they do get the point. Because the point is not the fight itself, the point is how the fight affects the characters. And so you start with a little bit of...
What?
This is literally the equivalent of turn your brain off, it's Space Adventure. That's basically what she's trying to say.
This is a nice lady's way of saying not to pay attention.
Or she's saying pay attention to what's happening with the characters and not the choreography, but there's nothing happening with the characters. This is just a generic fight scene.
Yep.
This is like Obi-Wan versus Grievous. Obi-Wan versus Grievous happened in episode 2.
Yeah, and it wasn't like the only time it ever happened.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great.
Of slow motion so we can really take this in. Two of our main characters who...
The slow motion highlights how terrible it is, and it also breaks George Lucas's camera rule. So there you go.
Until this point,
George Lucas isn't running the show anymore, so it's
at best been edging towards a small amount of understanding, turn their backs on each other in a gesture of absolute trust. Not just, I trust you not to stab me in the back, but also, I trust you to watch my back. And off we go. Okay. I sometimes see people ask, well, if there are mistakes in the fight, why don't you just do it again?
I understand what you're saying, but what's your point?
Yeah.
And once again, we have some jackass talking in the background. What is happening, guys?
It's not me, I can guarantee you that.
It's a black guy. Okay, move on.
People ask, well, if there are a fight, why don't you just do it again and again and again until it's perfect? Well, there are a number of good reasons why you cannot do that. For example, you're going to have limited time.
Wait, pause it. I mind you that the final fight that they did, that was the 19th take, and it still looks bad.
It doesn't even look good. Like I'm sure there's a take that's actually like better of the 19. Like the one they went with.
The one that was in the movie was a 19th take, and it was still terrible.
Well, here. Okay, so like just a little bit from personal experience. Crap dealer. Like often, like there's multiple things that can go wrong in a take. But like sometimes you get one where one piece is perfect and the other one is bad. Sometimes you get one where this one part is really well done and this other part is and like there's tiny things that ruin it. This one, it's like this is like the first take essentially. Like this feels like a first take where everybody fucks up at the same time. Literally nothing goes right. Like it's people don't realize just how bad this is. Like the stuntmen, the only competent people working here, they have to compensate for the actors' horrifically bad choreography so hard. It's absolutely insane.
They should have got the guy who choreographed the fights in the prequels to choreograph this if they wanted it to be the best scenes in the movie.
Well, yo, babe, but don't you know, brother, that that is all like a dance. That's all like a dance, and it ain't real, bruh.
Terrible. Movie sucks because they're not the actors. So
I'm
going to get
It's not-
tired. It's going
not
to
a
take a long
motive.
time.
happy that the
Practical
weapons
effects,
expert
etc.,
didn't
etc.
stay.
But the third
Like,
and
this
biggest,
is not
and
worthy.
in my opinion, most controversial choice of this fight scene is the other reason that you can't just do it over and over again until it's perfect. It's all them, or very nearly. A reasonable rule of thumb, and I'm sorry if this ruins me.
Okay, this is not.
There are so many jump cuts in this video.
This is.
what does it mean by that? Or what does she mean by
I
that?
don't
Sorry.
know.
She means that it's impressive because just like in the Predator, it's really Arnold Schwarzenegger over there. Listen, lady. Just because they're really there doesn't mean it has to be terrible. Okay.
Yeah, Obi-Wan and Ewan McGregor and Liam Neeson trained for months in order to perfect the choreography.
Oh yeah. In the prequels, they fought for real and actually did it good.
I mean, there were definitely some shots where it wasn't them, but they still did a good deal.
Yeah,
With it.
like in the in the first lightsaber battle in Revenge of the Sith, you can tell that sometimes they have a stuntman instead of Christopher Lee.
Well, that's
For Ewan and Hayden, it's like 90% them.
yeah, like it's. But I mean, Christopher Lee, he can't even walk properly anymore at that point. So, well,
That's what.
For example, when he jumps off the bridge and when like for his entrance, when he jumps off the bridge, you can tell that that's not Christopher Lee.
Oh yeah, that's like
that's
that's like one of those rare instances where the CGI doesn't look stellar.
And like the point, and like not even that, just like the pure choreography. Yeah, like most of the time it's not Christopher Lee, but also most of the time it is Ewan and Hayden.
Christopher Lee could have actually, if Christopher Lee could still,
it's bad because it's amazing, but just pointing out something in the movie.
If Christopher Lee could still properly, if he could still walk, run fast, he would have absolutely done that, and it would have been awesome.
Yeah. It's like that fight. I'd say it's like top 5 Star Wars fights right there.
Which one?
The choreography, the Anakin and Obi-Wan versus Dooku in Episode 3.
I know, right? It's really good, but it's really short too.
Like absolutely fantastic
and it's
fight.
Also
Great choreography.
It's also well deserved after watching Episode 2.
Yes.
Hey, but we don't care about
regional standards, people.
But we don't care about Count Dooku because he's just he's the worst Star Wars villain of all time.
He never becomes a real threat.
Is bad playing Count Dooku.
How can you say these things?
Fucking
my dad unironically thinks that Christopher Lee's performance as Count Dooku was bad.
Your dad unironically needs to be. I did
euthanized.
No, not. Oh my god! All right, this is why I don't. This is why I automatically never liked you, poop dealer. Why did I name you by your normal name? Fuck me. All right. Well, anyways, so your father needs like a cartoon like hammer to the head that makes him think logically. You know, like caveman, like bonk over the head, and then he thinks normally again. Cut. That's
no, I'll just like do like an Abby, but I don't kill him.
What? All right, I'm gonna have to get your father. I need to contact him. This is a problem. Move on with the fucking video, you idiots.
Maybe fights for you forever is if you can't see the actor's face clearly, it's probably not actually them. Want to know how many shots I counted for a stunt woman in this fight? 1, maybe 2. So while
big deal.
That could very well still be Daisy Ridley.
Yeah.
Like that was. I mean, it was just a pathetic little kick. Like it's the. And could you talk about the fucking choreography, please?
Oh, great choreography. The biggest and most risky choice they made was this: show their faces all the time, which is no.
What the hell are you talking about?
What? What? Do the faces matter? Does it really matter?
Okay, so Mark Hamill actually fought with that Darth Vader actor,
David Prowse.
David Prowse
Yeah.
actually fought with David Prowse actually fought with what was his name? Alec
Mark
Guinness.
Hamill.
Alec Guinness.
No, he didn't fight Mark Hamill. That was somebody else.
Choreography in that fight was not good. I'd say it's
Wasn't
all right.
amazing.
It's
It's
got
okay.
it's got some actually like really smart things in there, but a
It
lot of it is flawed.
doesn't
However,
matter.
it is
It
One
doesn't
thing I
matter.
noticed in each original movie is that each movie the choreography gets a bit better.
It doesn't matter because in episode 4 it's old people fight, so it's all right. Okay, fine. It's not that good.
Okay.
it's okay. Like it's
Better
alright.
than anything in the sequels. And
I mean,
No
it
question.
was 1977, so we didn't have the technology we
No
have now.
question. Going to result in a fight.
Alec Guinness was old. Okay, there was no technology that was going to make him younger. That's why Christopher Lee
And
is
they
being
didn't have
played.
any CGI to replace him either.
That's why Christopher Lee has his face superimposed upon that excellent stuntman.
Going to result in a scene that looks worse on a technical level than one performed by stunt people. Because of course it is.
Okay, yeah, she admits it. She admits the
Yeah, so Mark Hamill isn't like he was like the Empire Strikes Back didn't have like the worst fight scene in all of Star Wars, so
it's actually really good.
so you are extremely wrong.
I give the Luke versus Vader fight scene a 7 out of 10.
Beginning 7 out of 10, later stage 8. And then that last
It looks pretty good for it being a really old movie too.
All right, so I need to teach you something about how you need to respect what came before, okay? Because like, if anything, dude, I mean, yes, like it's fine to say for an older movie, but it's not exactly like standards have gotten so amazing nowadays. It's more what's possible with the technology that has gotten better, not exactly the freaking standards. I mean, if that was the
Yeah, that is kind of what Mahler means when he says the shots will age, the effects will age. He's not saying that movies are automatically better looking now and they all are far superior in the visual department. He's saying that now we have technology that allows them to be far superior to old movies.
Yep, and it's not used well whatsoever.
I wouldn't say that.
It's not used well whatsoever by the vast majority of films.
Okay.
Of course it is. Especially given that the emphasis on faces is paired with these long takes. You just don't have the flexibility that you have when you can cut back and forth.
Are you kidding me?
Okay,
Notice how that guard that was on the ground had a chance to kill Kylo.
Yeah, but why is choreography the worst thing in the world then? Like what? Like just like, lady, you're talking about it as though it's really good but has some minor flaws. This is garbage. This is like legitimately this is legitimately the worst.
Pay attention to everything but the choreography. Pay attention to everything but the choreography.
But I mean, like when I saw the fight scene for the first time when I watched Robot Head's video, I was like, "Oh my god, what the fuck is that guy doing? Why is he running away? What the fuck? Why did you stab the ground? What the fuck? What the shit?
When Kylo stabbed the ground, the guard had a chance to like hit his hand or hit the saber out of his hand, but he didn't. Instead, he started hitting the air like a retard.
Or just like a sliding motion, like, oh yeah, I'm cool.
You know what makes that whole thing like one of the biggest reasons why the throne room fight is just so awful is because like these are supposed to be elite guards fighting extremely heavily trained
trained guards. Elite trained guards. And elite is like a big rank, but they can't defeat a girl who's never held a lightsaber in her life. Wow.
Or
they're supposed to protect the supreme fucking leader, and they can't be a random ass girl.
Yep.
I guarantee you that a Praetorian Guard could kill Rey and Kylo. No, not a Praetorian Guard, and the Royal Guards, Palpatine's Royal Guards.
Oh yeah, sure.
Well, we never saw that in action, even though that would be pretty cool.
Well,
I'm sure they'll be able to directly stab them though, especially the shadow guards.
Look, let's be honest. Everybody would destroy Ray in 2 seconds, even you and me. If we were just, if the movie didn't, bullshit her out of dangerous situations.
But no, Ray has the power of plot.
Yes.
And you see, like, the plot
can't
is
protect
like
you from everything. I guarantee you, if Anakin tried to defeat Ray, he would cut her just like how Mace killed
Django.
The plot is a simp for Ray.
No. You see,
male.
yes, the plot is a simp for Ray. So you see, Anakin would contract Joel disease, where he dies for no fucking reason.
Because he's white male. You're white male. I love it how that guy said that as though it was an argument.
You're fucking white male.
Fucking love this.
You're white male.
Yeah.
To make everything.
That's kind of racist, you know.
Indeed, it is.
While the Praetorian Guards are obviously going to be stunt performers, you don't have the advantage of stunt performers standing in for your.
The Praetorian Guards are obviously going to be stunt performers. What are you trying to say? What does she mean? The stunt guards are okay.
As if stuntmen can't fuck shit up too. Like this whole choreography shit. This is like this is the type of shit you're supposed to get right in a film, just as much as you're supposed to get dialogue and acting right.
Like the movie's already bad. Let's give me a good lightsaber battle. Movie can't even do that.
There's also the problem with like the stuntmen. I don't think they're actually that bad. I think like most of the time they just have to be shit in order for Kylo and Rey to not die. Like they are forced to wait for Rey and Kylo to get their shit together in order for them to execute their attacks.
Dude, it would be so funny if we got to see. I'm sure that there's got to be like at least one of those takes where a guy just straight up hits her in the face. It's got to be one of them. We can make like an edit of that.
Also, you guys know the guy with that thing, that weapon that bends, right? The weapon that he uses to bend against Ray. Why did he use that? Like, why did he use it as like a whip? Why did he use it as like a whip?
Because flashy.
I mean, they're already showing enough flashes. Why not do that?
No, I mean because of flashy was in to make it look.
Because Ray didn't die.
And plus, why is Ray even moving? It's not like this. It's not like it's attached to the saber or around the saber. It could have wrapped it around her saber or pull it out.
If Ray was to die, then the entire Star Wars universe would implode in on itself. So the plot has to save Star Wars by keeping Ray alive.
Yeah. Wait a second. I just noticed something. You guys notice how in the throne the red glass walls get broke, right? So you see the outside. Why didn't they get thrown outside?
Oh, the wallpaper and the wallpaper burnt, and so then they saw like the outside.
But why would they put a window there?
Well, there is a window there,
and plus Snoke can already see what goes outside since he has a globe too.
You're right. Is there a window?
Sorry, I was thinking about Amazing Lucas calling him Snokes.
Yeah, you're right. Like, why is there a giant window there if he already has that like magnifying glass?
Oh yeah, that's true. It's style over substance. We all know that.
To make their choreography look amazing. That's not to say that your actors don't have any skills or haven't been training very hard, but to become.
What are you saying?
Adam Driver was a veteran, if I'm right.
Yeah, a veteran.
It's pretty clear.
I don't think that it was his fault. I think it's the choreographers, for however you say it.
Well, he probably used a gun, if we're gonna be honest here. Like, he might not be very skilled with the pistol. I mean, with the sword.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear that that either like it doesn't even matter if like Adam Driver and Daisy Ridley are talented. Either the stunt choreographer got drunk, or Ryan kidnapped him and tried to take a shot at himself.
Ryan isn't a good filmmaker.
Oh shit!
Well said by my gangster friend.
Person who works on Disney features.
That's kind of
you
racist.
Have to be at the top of your game just to get on.
Yeah, you're right. She's racist against good acting.
On the British stunt register, for example, it requires you to have.
Talking about you.
It was wrong.
Black belt or equivalent martial arts training in falling and trampolining and all of these different things. Your actors won't have that training, that muscle memory, that flexibility, that stamina.
Maybe they should.
Know what she's talking about? Does she even know what she's talking about?
Well, yeah, she does.
If actors aren't taught this, then I don't know what the fuck. if actors aren't taught, I agree that actors probably shouldn't have to be taught like all of that. But like, if they're not taught like a rudimentary version of it, at least I don't know what the fucking movie industry is doing.
Oh no, she's talking about stuntmen, not actors.
No, I mean if actors didn't like do any of this whatsoever, like then the industry is just broken beyond repair.
Why?
Yep.
Yep.
So if you watch it slowly, or if you watch it with an eye to the choreography, of course it's going to look.
Pause. What was the? Oh shit! My bad.
Yeah. What is it?
What was the point of that swing right there that Ray did?
Hold up, let me
she goes.
And you just went back to the beginning.
Because you decide that it fits choreography, of course it's going to.
The swing she does when she gets up from the ground.
Oh yeah,
the point of that swing.
That's my favorite part of that whole scene, by the way. Like, I love how she just sits there and goes all retard and swings around like a girl. That part
seems a bit sexist.
I gotta be honest with you. Like the only possible answer I have is that she's trying to keep him away by swinging it around like that. But at the same time,
that's gonna get that. Literally, the guard could knock the saber out of her hand of her doing that. She's swinging so fast that it could get knocked out of her hand.
Yep, like it's a type of maneuver I'd expect for somebody who doesn't know how to use a sword.
Also, is the force ever used in this battle?
No.
Wow. So this isn't a lightsaber battle then?
Yep.
Oh no! No, it's not. No, it's even if it uses the force, it's not a lightsaber battle. No two lightsabers touch in this entire scene.
Oh, they only touch. They only touch once in the movie, and that's when Mark Hamill tries to murder Adam Driver.
Oh, God.
So I guess Luke is a child murderer now.
He's a child idiot murderer, indeed.
Child
idiot murderer.
What is a child idiot? It's still funny if I get cut off that time.
Used fight performers. It has to. I mean, if it didn't, why would you hire those people? But then
okay, so let me tell you something.
CGI.
All right, let me tell you something.
There are so many times in this battle where they could use the force to their advantage, but they don't use it.
All right, let me tell you something, sweetheart. You could have actors that, like Christopher Lee, for instance, who do know how to wave a sword around and do know how to do this sort of thing. Like, this doesn't have to be a binary thing where all actors have to be entirely retarded and not know anything about fighting. I mean, fucking shit, this fight. Like, okay, if we're gonna be 100% serious here, okay? If one of my students would film a fight like that, say I was a choreographer, trainer, or whatever, and when my student gave me that, I would just be like, well, I mean, it looks nice, but you fail at so many levels, my student. And I would just point out thing after thing after thing after thing. Like, this is, like, the degree to failure that's going on here is not just, oh, there's like a few mistakes here in this otherwise awesome fight. Like, no,
it's a straight up a bad fight. Straight up, a lot of problems.
From the beginning to the end,
fight is a problem.
From beginning to the end, like even the later sequences where the one or two
they're either hitting the air like dumb NPCs, or hitting the ground like dumb NPCs, waving the sabers around like
or they're aiming where they aim for the weapon instead of the person, like dumb NPCs. It's like Mahler says, this is not a problem that is in The Last Jedi. This is a problem that encompasses The Last Jedi.
Yep.
And choreography isn't in this fight scene, it is the fight scene.
Well said, my clone friend. Let's just move on.
Choice, because you decide that it fits with the story that you want to tell. And
That's not how you tell a good story, lady.
She's saying that a lightsaber battle equals a story that you're trying to tell.
I mean, I'm actually, like, you can communicate a lot through a lightsaber fight, but the way that it's set up in The Last Jedi, it is literally just a fight. It's not part of the overarching.
Half of Darth Maul's character is conveyed through. Half of Darth Maul's character is conveyed through his fight. Yeah.
You can see, like when he's about to get thrown down the shaft, you can see some of Darth Maul's character in that when he is about to get thrown down the shaft.
Yep.
Look, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Are you gonna like flip? Oh, you're flipping over. Oh, shit, I'm dead.
Yep. Did you see my video?
Same thing with the Attack of the Clones lightsaber battle and the lightsaber battle over Coruscant and Duel of the Fates. There are many times.
I kind of want to see like a version of Duel of the Fates where like somebody is like pretending to talk as Darth Maul.
A fair chance. Oh shit. Okay. Gotta back up here. Okay. Get the door open. Okay, good. Fuck off, old man. You think
your soul will be mine after the end of this fight. Now, let me talk about my childhood in the
I will
60s.
tear out your entrails by your head.
Don't worry, Obi-Wan. Don't worry that I killed your master. It's not about fighting what we hate. It's about fighting what we love.
I can imagine just like photoshopped those
people hate this fight so much is also one of the reasons other people love it so much. That connection.
Yeah, retarded people like it. I know.
I talk about connection with the character.
Connection to the character.
She's trying to sound smart. She's trying to sound smart, bro.
Character connection not found. Please try again.
Connection to the characters that we can't relate to because they're perfect or retarded. It's one of the two.
In these videos, it's a thing. And to get that connection, you need their faces in the shot. Like I said in my Force Awakens video.
What are you talking about? They were able to.
Okay.
Well, I mean, like they superimposed Christopher Lee on a stunt actor. Like, doesn't that kind of tell us that we have the means to do this and not have it look retarded anyway?
Yeah, like Last Jedi, like these Star Wars movies are some of the biggest budgets out there for their films. They don't have to. Like they can have shots where they superimpose the face onto a stuntman. They
like people call George Lucas lazy, but seriously, like this is the type of shit he did so that everything would be perfect.
Oh my god!
Like these little details.
I think what's lazy is like half-assing your choreography just so you can have your characters scream at the frame.
I would pay reality and God himself to just go back in time and see Ryan justify that decision. Have him he sits there and he's just like, good enough. That guy has the worst laugh. Like seriously, fuck that guy's laugh.
Hero pose is quite similar to a kendo stance. Learn something new every day. And so everything that's done.
What?
Apparently you're like in the lightsaber by your thing.
What?
Like, actually, University pointed that out. It's not an actual guard position holding a lightsaber by your side.
Hold up, let me see here. What is that position? Oh, she's so ugly in the shot. Ooh. Like, I actually think she's kind of alright, but that is not a good.
Done or very nice to be with them. And the fourth choice is that you stay with them
so
as
much
you
spinning.
do that to emphasize it and to draw.
All right, so
much unnecessary spinning.
So
much unnecessary spinning.
to a kendo stand? Certainly every day. And so everything that's done, or very nearly
That's not
everything,
true.
has to be with them. And the fourth choice
Alright,
is that
so-
you stay with them as you...
Alright, so, wait a minute. Oh my fucking
Whoa!
god.
Wait a second.
I
What?
I just realized something, guys. So this guy who tries to like sacrifice himself for his friend, he's just waiting there. Look to the left, to the far left of the shot.
And the fourth choice, stay with them as you do that.
See that?
What?
He's just waiting there.
Like I said in Wickens video,
Like
about
that
the
other
hero
guy's
pose.
waiting
Also,
there.
a commenter pointed out that
I
the
see.
lightsaber
Why-
hero pose
But
is
why did
quite
he use
similar
his
to the
hands?
kendo stand.
I do not understand. This
Oh,
man think he's
And so
running
everything that's
vibranium.
done, or very nearly everything, has to be with them.
Look, he's just waiting there. He's just literally waiting there. To the
Just
left.
standing there.
Choice is
You
that
could
stay
pick
with
up a
them
weapon and
as you
help
do
him,
that.
and you decide.
He was just standing there waiting for his cue.
Yep.
Wait, if their armor is able to resist
It's like a
lightsabers,
genuine
then why did all the other guards die? I don't understand.
I think even Shadiversity failed to just cover just how. Maybe he notices. I don't know. I don't remember. But fuck me, these films are so full of holes.
It's like that one part. It's like that one part in Half-Life. Like the scientist is like he doesn't jump out of the window until like in a certain position. Like that's hilarious.
I mean that.
Oh, gotta wait for them to get to pixel number 552 before I can jump in.
I mean like I get what you mean in that one, Airborne, but like that is unironically a case of it just being a 19 like it.
Oh no, I have no problem with it. It's just like the fact that like stuff that's like reserved for like coding,
scripted events, like it's a scripted event.
is happening.
Like it's like if Kylo Ren moves to that position, then Arms guy will come and stop him.
I'm just still wondering if their armor is able to resist lightsabers, then why are the other guards? Why did the other guards die? Like, did this guy have plot armor or something? Did he have some type of plot armor to stop him from dying?
This guy stole some plot armor from Rey.
Yeah, this guy was supposed to kill Rey in the fight scene, but he ended up dying because Adam Driver like kind of got into it too much, so they had to redraft the final cancel bite scene to have Rey in it.
It would have been. I would have loved it if she died here. It would have been great.
Adam Driver, you just killed our stuntman. How are we gonna defeat Rey now?
Right. if their armor is able to resist lightsabers, why didn't they just beat them down with their fists? It's obviously they're weak to fists, so why didn't they just beat them down?
That would actually be cool if like they just dropped their weapons and erased their fists. Like,
I mean, like it's like besides all the other retarded things about the scene, there's like another element to it that I really hate, like, and that is that this guy, he comes to save his buddy. You know, his buddy is spinning like a circus seal, like a circus rat. I mean, or elephant or whatever. He's spinning, and it's like, oh my god, Kylo is gonna kill me. Then he comes to save his buddy, and what does he get for that? Oh, a saber in his side and in his neck or whatever. And his buddy just stands there and lets him die. Like, oh, great. Thank you, Ryan. Nice of you to show a camaraderie and, you know, trying to protect your allies just gets you killed like a retard. Thank you for that.
No, man, they were evil.
Wait, let me see. So, hold up. The frame that we have it pausing right now, so he just slides it down and cuts him on his bottom? Okay. So your arms are protected, but not your other parts of your body.
I know, right?
Makes no sense.
I know, it's retarded.
Also,
but like,
how do Praetorian guards see?
oh,
plot armor. The little like material in their thing
has to be
semi-transparent.
Okay, so like I just want you guys to look at this in this context. Okay, so this guy's backing up, and he comes to save his friend, and look at what he gets for that.
To be with them. Fourth choice is that you stay with them as you do that to emphasize it and to draw the viewer in. You mix in the shorter.
Wow, so great.
Why do you push him down? He's already dead. Okay,
Why is that? He had to force in the thing, but still, it's just he tries to save his friend. That's what he gets for it. Okay, great, thank you.
Because his friend is too busy spinning. Like,
By the
come
way,
on.
also when the
Hey,
other guy
come
goes
on,
to save it,
get him, get him! I got him! Wait, why are you spinning? I'm still dizzy from what I was spinning earlier. No! He just gets up and he's looking at the guy with his arms against a saber, and he's just like, "Oh well, this is something I don't need to worry about."
Dude, I got him distracted, going for the finishing blow. Nah, dude, I'm just like, going through the motions right now.
there are
Spinning,
so many spins in this battle that you would wonder if the actors are dizzy.
dude,
Yeah,
spinning.
that's why he lets his friend die. He's spinning.
But dude, spinning's a good trick.
But they do it so much. You don't need to do it that much in a lightsaber battle. Like as many spins they do, they have chances to kill each other, but they
Dude,
don't.
they do spins
Right.
because it looks cool, and that's the only reason.
Looks
Awesome.
on everything.
I mean, that guy, I can actually see why he did, because he wants to get away from Kylo, but if that's the case, he can just sprint backwards.
Sure, but then you have the big fancy wide shots, which establish where everybody is.
Seriously, I used to do that as a kid. Like, I
Wide shots in Star Wars are not fancy. The majority of the prequels were just wide shots.
like,
Really.
Like,
What's wrong with?
In the episode 2, Anakin Obi-Wan versus Dooku fight, that's a widescreen shot too. There
There
are a lot
are
of
so
wide,
many wide shots in that fight.
and
Like, Jesus Christ.
and Attack of the Clones probably has the most wide shots out of all the prequels, if I'm right.
No, that's got to be Revenge of the Sith. But Attack of the Clones has second most, I'd say. Like,
Lupus, do you have to go in 40 minutes? Well, I suppose we're not going to do anything right by waiting too long.
We're almost done anyway.
But let me say this extremely quickly. So, I find it interesting how a lot of movies like this, they pretend like you can't walk sideways or backwards. Like, you really can. Like, it's not that
it is a good. Like, that would look boring, and it wouldn't please Chris Stuckman, who likes his sprinting.
Airborne. You have I know you're making a joke here, but you'd have no idea how awesome it would be to watch a sword fight where a dude like sidesteps and his opponent is just like, oh shit, and that happens like multiple times. That would be so great. Anyway, move on.
Time and space, and tracking from one of the pair to the other to establish both their connection in the Force and their
Unnecessary swing. See the pause it. Go
And
back
unnecessary
to where they're fighting Ray. Go back to where they're fighting Ray.
Unnecessary kick and unnecessary
time
swing.
and space. You mix in some tracking from one of the pair to the other to establish both their connection in the Force.
What? He shouldn't be dead. All she did is cut some of his armor, so he shouldn't be dead.
Oh, he's not dead. He's not dead. He actually.
Yeah, he actually did survive that, but he shouldn't even be knocked over. That shouldn't affect him at all.
Well, he did get
Force
kind of
and their
grazed by it, but
Now this is the weapon I was talking about. Why didn't he just wrap it around Ray's saber, pour his saber off, then beat her to death? That's the way he could have done, but he didn't do it.
wait, hold up 1 second. Hold up 1 second. So that guy doesn't die from that. Are you telling me he just sat there and looked at it all happening, then got behind him and was like you got to realize that guy falls over, like that guy, like that she just hit. He falls over, that he gets behind this guy, the lasso man. He gets behind him, and then crouches there waiting for his turn. So he could have just gotten back up and stabbed her in the back, but he didn't. This is the worst fight scene of all time. I'm saying it now. This is the worst fight scene ever.
In the plot, and you have this.
Well, what was your previous worst fight scene?
I cannot wait to break this down once we do our Last Jedi.
Imagine that off screen he was like rapidly crawling towards that spot where you see him crouching. He's just gonna try to get there as fast as possible.
And you have this draw from the combination of the actors' faces and the long takes that you just couldn't get if you were swapping in and out with stunt doubles. But the inevitable flip side to this is that your actor.
Yeah, that's not true.
Like, yeah, that's cool, I guess, but I don't care.
If you see the fight in The Princess Bride, which is done by the actors, then you should know that this is retarded. Well, maybe not the entire thing was done by the. I don't give a shit. This is not an excuse. This is not an excuse for the level of bad that we see here.
Tired, your stunt performers will get tired, everybody's going to get tired. My experience is that after you know the choreography and after you've got warmed up, fight performance tends to deteriorate over time because your energy level just drops. Especially if you are an actor and not a trained martial
Logic
artist.
100.
Daisy Ridley said in an interview that there was one particular section where they did 25 takes.
And that's ideally how I would make my fight scenes. But
I mean,
you don't have to sacrifice choreography to do so. Like you're acting like they're counterbalances to each other. The fight scene in episode 3 with Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Dooku is possibly the best showcase of characterization in choreography in Star Wars. You have the aggressive and over the top Anakin.
There are so many swings each second. There are so many swings each second. I don't know how to say it.
And like Obi-Wan is more refined and focused on defense and parrying, and then you have Count Dooku, who is calmly negating both of them at the same time, and he's like entirely focused on defense because he's the one being attacked.
This reminds me of a scene I saw. I saw the deleted scenes from the movie Predator. There's not a lot. There's only like a handful, but there's this thing where that scene when Arnold slides down the hill, and he just goes down this hill and he goes oh shit. Well, there's multiple takes of that, and the take they ended up going with was the one that where he goes oh shit.
Yeah.
The oh shit wasn't required whatsoever. He just happened to do it that time, a little courtesy of Arnold adding it in himself, and that's why he did it. There wasn't planned necessarily, but it's just what's just frustrating about it is that you see something like that. And it's they obviously went with them because it's the most interesting one. And also because he simply did it really well that way. And she's talking about it she probably thinks they chose that one because it's funnier or something. There is an objective best take. There are in one of my video projects, I remember a long time ago, I had this this guy looks off to the left take. That one was accurate but really slow, and at the time I wasn't that good with editing, so I couldn't normally just speed it up there was nothing. So it was kind of a problem. The other one bugs out when he looks to the left too much eventually, and his head starts breaking apart and just looking into a million different directions at the same time, and it looks retarded. Now, what I did is that I went with that one, except I cut it off before the part where his head starts glitching out. I did this in Gary's spot, by the way. So when I did that, that was me taking the broken take and applying a heavy fix over it. And ultimately, I liked that better. I could have gone with the other one. Probably should have. It's in one of my it's a video that I never ended up releasing. So I guess I'll put a link in the description of this one to what that video was. But yeah, it's I mean, if I go to a few more modern examples of my videos, I guess then this one big long video I'm working on. I fall off a tree and I've got it perfectly set up for multiple moments to fall in. I like most of them, but that's because I set the scene up really well. However, I go with the one where I land with my feet because obviously if I land on my head, that seems like it would be more destructible and less survivable than if I landed on my feet. I'm not gonna go with the one where I do cartwheels. Well, I mean, if I try and make something that's ultra realistic, then I'm not gonna go with the cartwheels, fly, smash into the floor, like cracking bones version. I'll go with the one that feels more survivable. Like there's regardless of anything I'm saying right now, you have to keep going until it looks either good enough or good. Like you shouldn't settle for mediocrity ever. Like it, I. This is so frustrating.
That's what ER says. Just showing up isn't good enough.
Yeah, like it's like, and when I say good enough, like there's a lot of movies that have really awkward / bad choreography moments, but they're like tolerable. You know, like I don't know.
Well, they have moments where they look bad, but overall it's pretty good.
I mean, not to shit on Predator or anything, but since I brought it up earlier, you know when Arnold throws like the knife into the dude, you know, and he's like stick around. Now, don't get me wrong, I like the stick around line; it's good, but the actual mechanics of him, like for some reason knowing the guy's behind him, which could just be his combat awareness, like that's like that. I had no problem with that in specific. It's just he throws it into him, and it's like, oh, he's dead. Okay.
Thomas Lillig has been commenting for like the past hour.
Hi, Thomas.
Thank you, Thomas. You are.
I like Hayden and Ewan do about 90% of their action scenes, and Revenge of the Sith, Hayden does all of his fight scenes.
Oh shit! I didn't know that. What a trad.
I don't know if that's true, but I could be wrong.
Well, he did do it in that movie where he beat up those Chinese people.
Also, does this lady not know that they had the technology to CG a face onto a stunt person? Thank you, Thomas.
Yeah.
Hayden did the mocap for the Revenge of the Sith game.
What?
That's awesome.
What?
That's awesome.
Hayden did the mocap for
He did the mocap, but he didn't get to do the vocab. What the fuck? I mean, the voice.
I'm pretty sure he voiced Anakin in the game too. I think Revenge of the Sith game was probably has the best saber combat, even better than
No, that was Matt Lucas, I believe.
All right. Well,
technically correct. So who knows? It might be. And because you pick the shot that serves the story best rather than the one that's most technically correct, that's how you end up with things.
Can she shut the fuck up about the shot that chooses the story and actually talk about the fucking choreography?
What does she mean by that, though? Like, you mean
I feel like she's trying to sound smart. She's trying to sound smart.
Okay, I'm getting pissed off with this. All right, Lupus, are you there? Hello, Lupus. Hold on. All right, if I share a stream, does that show up in like if we do the stream here?
Yes.
Like does it show up? Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Lupus uses Streamlabs.
You're gonna have to. No, he uses OBS.
I mean, does my icon look like it's like? Would it then look like what I'm streaming?
I don't. Yeah, no, you're still there.
Oh fuck! I just need to check out our stream and then see if it changes if I click it on. Let's see here. Okay.
Well, wait. What do you guys think has? What Star Wars game do you guys think has the best saber combat?
In that
Jedi Academy.
How I mean,
it's funny.
What were you trying to ask
played Jedi Academy before.
Sorry, I was doing stuff.
Yeah. All right.
What were you trying to ask me, Replica?
Yeah, it should probably be fine, but whatever. I'll save that for later. I'll make a very short. Whatever. Okay, so
How you end up with
the one that's more technically accurate. That's probably the one you should always go for because people will appreciate it if it makes sense. If we take Arnold falling off the cliff thing, whatever. That's just so.
I mean, even people who don't like fights because apparently they're emotionless. Apparently,
that's probably the worst shot in the movie.
Who's pausing this?
I am pausing it because I am talking.
Hello?
That's a
All right. Well, I wasn't hearable for a second.
hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Let us
So
continue.
I wanted to pause to say that even
Alright.
people who
Whatever,
don't like the
you need-
Go on.
even people who even people who don't like the prequels respect the choreography from the duels if they're not retarded. Because like they're like,
Yeah, some
yeah,
people
I
who
don't like
didn't like
the
the
lightsaber
prequels
duels.
agree that the lightsaber battles are really good.
Oh, I don't like the lightsaber battles because I don't feel emotion to connected to the characters. But like the choreography is really good. Like even Turf Nation admits that.
Yeah, they still think episode
I
5 is the
mean,
best.
the Phantom Menace. A lot of people like the Phantom Menace lightsaber battle because before that, most lightsaber battles we had were kind of slowish, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like that lightsaber fight was downright revolutionary, and everybody loved it, even the haters.
There was so much toys sold because of him, because of how much people like the fight scene.
Even Cosmonaut knows it's good. Like when you get
I
Cosmonaut,
mean, he
frequently
barely
good.
likes it. He likes it a bit. He likes it a bit.
It's emotionally empty.
That's just like I still can't get over that. Just like Mahler is like, it's like Mahler's like Plinkett argues that emotional blah 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 is more important than whatever, and then he's like I can understand this perspective and I see that it's fair, and I'm just sitting there like, and I'm just like, Mahler, when I was 15, I knew that was blatant contrarianism. That you're struggling with it. Fucking hell! I wish Mahler wasn't.
Well, what?
I wish Mahler
I
wasn't
mean,
brainwashed into liking them.
there's nothing wrong with wanting emotion in your conflict. And then again, he said he lies somewhere in the middle. Is what he says.
I know, but like the fact he take like it's not that
He
position.
likes the
Regular
prequels,
media.
but thinks they aren't well written, which I think is a bit hypocritical. It's not like the OT doesn't have points where it has some bad writing.
That position RLM has towards that is unreasonable as hell.
Yeah, like the way that Plinkett frames it, yes, it's blatant contrarianism. But like there are people, like not any like famous YouTubers, but like people have like conversations who are like, yeah, like this is why I don't like them. I get that they're technically competent, but like I just don't feel this. It's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I
want to
respect that.
to respond to one point, another point Cosmonaut says. He says Qui-Gon isn't the main character of the Phantom Menace, even though he mentions that he has the most screen time. If he has the most screen time, wouldn't that make him the main character though?
No, it wouldn't. Not really.
It just makes him the most viewed character. I hate Cosmonaut so much.
You need to VFX out a knife that should have been dropped like 2 moves ago. You're Disney, you have the money to do that. And for those...
Yeah. Does that make...
Yeah.
I can see why Smart Boy... I can see why Smart Boy ignored you. You are a vain woman.
A vain?
Thinking, why don't they just reset every time they make a mistake? No. In stage combat exams,
Yes.
Get the joke because she did the funny face. She did the funny face, and it's funny. You get the joke.
Funny face.
She's not making a joke.
Woman, they fuck it up once, it's fucked forever. You get it right eventually, it's right forever. Do you not understand this?
Let her explain.
There are very few ways. One of them is breaking character, because in theatre, nobody knows what you're supposed to be doing. So as long as you stay in character, you can probably just make it look like part of the show. And in film, you don't...
It's not theater!
No, it's not the same.
I do not understand.
Yeah, go on, Mr.
Logic went out the window.
Which parts the editor's going to end up using, so you stay in character until the director goes.
Well, you're supposed to.
But that does.
Right, yeah, like yes, I understand that. That's definitely true. You go until the director says cut. That's fair. But what you don't do is say, "Oh, yep, that's the take," and then you ignore the one guy that says that's not the move they were supposed to do. Like I get what she's saying here, but she's not addressing the real problem that people bring up. It's not the idea of like, oh, just once you screwed up, stop before the director says cut. Just be like, that was wrong. Let's do it again. No, the problem is the director is supposed to say that was wrong. Let's do it again.
Yep.
Like that's the problem. We don't really. I don't blame the stuntman.
I love that. Such you have to
In
unironically
the
say
course of a
that.
few days, you run huge chunks of what is meant to be a 2-minute sequence, maybe 100 times. Every one of them needing the energy that would naturally accompany a fight to the death. Ouch. So, aside from one drop to the floor,
Okay, so lady, let me tell you something.
Pause. If he had the chance to kick her on the ground and shove the okay, that would be too graphic, but still, he had the chance to kill her.
That too, but lady, shuffling forwards and backwards over and over again, while taking protein and energy drinks and water or whatever the fuck they have, and also being stuntman is not hard. Like I understand you might get the idea that shuffling forwards and backwards, jumping and I mean that makes you get tired eventually, obviously, but I mean I don't think these guys are exactly your average dude. Like these stuntmen seem to be pretty, active and physical and stuff.
Yes.
Woman, I didn't really see anything else where I went, oh yeah, definitely a stunt woman. It's basically all Daisy Ridley, and I think it's basically all Adam Driver. If you spotted any other part...
Who the fuck is over there?
It's Ben.
Alright, fix it.
Where they used a stunt woman, leave a comment, let me know, because I didn't, but don't
I will not leave a comment. Fuck you, I'm disliking the
either
video.
Way, the point
Okay.
stands that it's stunt doubles for small specific pieces of the...
Okay, I'm fucking done with this video. She's just walking. We should not have covered her. This is a waste of time. You guys can watch the end. I'm fucking. She's just like, oh, well, the fight is problems. Well, you can't always get it perfect, and it's hard. Therefore, it's excusable.
Yeah.
This is.
All right, we'll cover it.
That's this video in a nutshell. I'm going to bed. Fuck this.
Yeah, I'll finish it up.
All right.
Fight like falls, not basically the entire thing. So if that's how you're going to do it, because you want to sell that connection between the characters and to the audience, because you want to contrast the acting and the faces of the characters against the literally faceless guards.
What is this logic? I really do not understand this logic.
Why not do both? Why not do both?
If she ever mentions the choreography in this video, it's just saying the word. That's all. She doesn't mention how the choreography is good.
Yeah.
She's just and plus the title. The title, you could reverse the title and basically say content over choreography.
Connect over choreography. Connection.
What's more important? Timing or performance? How it looks broken down in slow motion, or how
both matter. Timing and performance both matter.
How it makes people feel when they see it. Do you think that like people don't feel good when they see something that like makes sense?
She says content or performance. You need both of those to also make the fight good.
Like she says it's like more important to make people feel good over like something like that is able to like uphold scrutiny. But like do you like when when people like Spadiversely like break down a scene from like episode 3 and they're like wow.
Don't you feel good when you see Darth Maul die in the Phantom Menace? You feel good that Darth Maul died.
Well, like what I'm trying to say is like when people like analyze a scene and like break it down, they like try to find flaws and they just like can't. It's like, don't you think that makes people feel good? That's like, wow, this fight seems like actually like genuinely amazing. Like I think that's satisfying to know that like fights that you watch and enjoy are actually really good. Over like because like when I first saw this fight scene, I really liked it. I noticed a couple problems, but like once I see someone like Shad break it all down,
sometimes I kind of like TLJ, but that's when I first watched it. But that was when I was a consumer. I'm not a consumer anymore.
Yeah, but it's like now that I know the fight scene's bad, it's like, oh, I like this fight scene, and now I can't because I know I know that all the smoke and mirrors is fake. Like that's I mean like. the idea that like technical prowess and emotional resonance aren't connected is like it's batshit.
A Lego version of this fight, of this battle, would be better than the actual movie.
To have both of these things at the same
isn't
time,
smoke
if you
and mirrors.
use
This is
that
smoke
one,
and
but
hobos.
generally you have to trade off. You pick whether to cut or not. You pick the take. You pick the
What?
shot.
So they
based on the for the.
you see that right there, right? So he pushes him
Yes, but it
off.
doesn't
Now
have to be this bad.
he still has him on his blade, so they have the chance to get him. They have the chance, but they're too busy just waiting there for their friend to get in the way. This is dumb. And why does he?
Yeah, if you could push off of them the whole time, why didn't he just do that?
And plus,
When they had him in
you
the bind?
notice how those two guards, when Kylo pulls those two guards' blades up, right? He waits till those blades are thrown up to then attack. This is so he's basically just there as a dummy. He's basically just there as like a dummy.
Yeah.
Fight and for the piece of media as a whole. And so structurally speaking, there are the deliberately connecting moments. When Ben fights in the foreground and we see Rey in the background, when Rey fights in the foreground and we see someone
that was a
fighting
weak
Ben
kick.
in the
Okay,
background.
this is dumb.
And they connect
That kick
Rey
is
with
so
Ben
weak.
even when they move the focus from one to the other. They match cut the lightsaber clash, for example. They do tracking shots from one to the other, and I particularly love this moment when Ben is encircled by these guards and he's looking around at all of them, but then we zoom over to where Rey is fighting, because even in the middle of a fight for his life, he's still looking for her.
You guys notice how he waits until turns around to hit him. He waits till Ben turns around to hit him.
I mean, they match cut the lightsaber clash, for example. They do tracking shots from one to the other, and I particularly love this moment when Ben is encircled by these guards and he's looking around at all of them, but then
look behind him.
We zoom over.
Yeah, he looks at Rey. I'm like, okay.
Why is he pointing?
Like,
I don't understand. As if that's gonna scare the guards.
That's not a guard position. That's just like it's meant to look cool. That's not going to protect you when they attack.
Over to where Rey is fighting, because even in the middle of a fight for his life,
he waits
he's still looking for her. Love it. And as soon as she finishes off,
he turns around. He's sitting there playing with the weapon. As soon as Ben turns around, he decides to move. This is retarded. He has a chance to kill Ben. Ben is trying to.
Ben is being a simp for Rey.
Kylo, I'm start referring to Ben into Kylo. He has a chance to kill him while Kylo, he's instead pointing at Rey while these guards are flaring around with their weapons. They have a chance to kill him, but instead they just act dumb.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Distinction.
There.
Oh. In stage combat, when Ben fights in the foreground and we see Rey for his life, anticipation, which is to say people moving before they technically have been pushed, but stage combat is kind of like a dance, and so that does tend to happen.
Stage combat is kind of like a dance. Okay, so she doesn't know anything. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She definitely doesn't know.
No, like yeah, stage combat. Stage combat is
what she's talking about.
There's
a difference between dancing and trying to kill somebody. Does she know that?
Yes.
Oh.
Actual stage combat is more like an intertwining of like two. Yeah, it is more like cooperative martial arts where you're trying to like match your movements so that like you don't kill each other because it's supposed to be putting on a show. But this is supposed to be real. Like we're supposed to actually believe this is happening. That's the problem.
Just one of those things. But there's also one particular piece
all
of
the Secret Trilogy lightsaber battles after
works
all the Secret Trilogy lightsaber battles after TFA. You know that these fights are basically useless since we all know that they're not going to kill Rey or Kylo because they're too scared to do that because they want the movie to be safe. So they're not going to kill Rey or Kylo at all. So there's no tension in the scene.
Works so well.
Disney was so predictable that you already know that Rey isn't going to die in the Rise of Skywalker. So there's no tension.
For the scene and the characters, I just love it. Specifically this moment where Rey reaches out for Ben and then uses him as a brace to kick these guys right here. That was the perfect character story connecting moment in the middle of a very fast-paced scene, and it gave me a lot of feeling.
Do you think this doesn't happen in other lightsaber fights? Like there isn't like camaraderie
I'm
and
pretty sure that
characterization.
you're able to do that in Jedi Academy too.
Like
Does she
like
even know what Jedi Academy is?
this is no different. This is no different from like any other lightsaber fight.
This is
There's
no different from any
characterization
sword fight. This
and
is no different from any sword fight. Not even lightsaber
yeah,
battles.
like this is in every single movie. You like every single good movie, Pirates of the Caribbean, Star Wars. Forget like what the movie was called, but there was like this excellent medieval sword fight between these two like lifelong rivals, and like there was so much character put into it. Like this is not like, and then again, a lot of these fight scenes have amazing choreography. Will versus Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean, Anakin versus Obi-Wan, Episode 3, Luke versus Vader in Episode 5. These fights are like some of the most revered fights of all time, not only because of the emotional connection to the characters, because of their incredible choreography. You don't. You can have both. You can have you can have your cake and eat it too. You can have the best of both worlds. They're not counterbalances to one another. They're one and the same. They're conducive. They form a symbiont circle. What happens to one will affect the other.
It is not only my favorite moment in that whole fight, it's probably one of my favorite moments in any fight ever. And
Okay, I mean that's a cool detail, I guess, but you can find far more depth pretty much any other Star Wars fight. Like I said,
it was the thing that made me go, oh yeah, I've got to learn how to do that. So, love it or hate it, at least now you know why this scene is such cinematic Marmite. I mean, you can accuse The Last Jedi of many things, but a lack of boldness in its fight scene choices is not among them. And this is a
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And whether or not you like it.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I mean, no, like yeah, like it is. It was. I think it actually was a good choice to like have the to have like the wide shots and the long takes. The only problem was the execution of the fight scene,
Put good shots in good movies.
Yeah.
Whose phone is that in the background?
That would be Airborne.
Going to affect how you feel about the whole thing. More accuracy and flashiness means more stunt performers, more of the actors' faces means more emotional connection, longer shots mean more connection.
God, this is dumb.
Yeah, I don't like. Yeah, connection is important.
Connection. That fight has to be good for you to have connection. That's the thing. A fight is allowed to have these things, but it has to be good. You have to feel. I guess you can feel that these strikes actually do something.
Yeah, it's like
you don't feel like these strikes kill anybody.
Long takes are not specific to this fight. They might be some of the longest in the franchise, but there are long takes in other fight scenes. There are like close-ups. There are wide shots. There are actors in the frame, in the frame. Like, come on.
Connection, but a shot that's twice as long is more than twice as difficult to get right, especially if choreography is involved. And most movies fall somewhere in the middle on the connection versus accuracy spectrum, but for this fight, in this movie, they just decided to go for it. And
no, they didn't.
Even if I didn't like how it turned out, I think I would probably still admire the boldness of that choice. There is no wrong thing to prefer when it comes to movie fights.
That is true, but there is a right thing to say what one is better than the other. I'm sorry, you do not. They're not like. It's not like the more emotional you get, the worse the fight becomes, or the more correct you get technically. Like
I don't know
the less
like. There's something about the lightsaber battle, and I guess a lot of all 6 Star Wars movies.
I have to go like right now. Like we finish this. We have to finish.
All right. Well, like closing statement.
Like how long? I have to go like right now. I'm sorry, guys.
This is bad. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
No. Right, you can finish. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Listen. Like the problem with this video is that she assumes that like
she focuses. The problem with this video that she focuses more on emotional connection.
All right. Listen, man. Okay. The problem is that she says that like that emotion and choreography are like at war with each other in lightsaber fights. When in actuality, they literally have to be like cooperating with each other for the fight to be good. I bid you all farewell. Have a great day.
All right, peace out.
All right, so yeah, sorry about the rushing of this.